Good afternoon guys and welcome back to another video. Now today we are in for back butt. This is going to be something a little bit different because this is something that I've never ever touched on my whole entire life, and it's something that I've never been open about. And one of the biggest topics behind today's video is injury management. And I forever get asked about things like injuries and things, and I forever get asked of how I kind of cope with niggles and things like that. Like, I'm a bodybuilder, I've been there, I've had all the niggles under the sun, I've had sore backs, I've had this, that, the next thing, but a few weeks ago, I misgrooved the deadlift and I felt something kind of go, and ever since then I've been getting work on it. Even when we went to Dubai, I was still kind of resting up. I was making sure that my recovery was one of the main things that I was taking on, like I was taking everything to do with. I then trained legs, I was feeling fresh, I done a leg press, and instantly when I kind of performed the eccentric part of the leg press, I brung my knees all the way back and my back went again, and there's something that's kind of leading from my glutes up to my lower back, and it twinged and it went, and I was literally bedded and I could hardly move. It was quite, I don't want to dwell on it too much, I don't want to go too deep into it, but at the same time it was something that for somebody like myself, I felt as if I've had everything taken away from me because I can't train the way that I would normally train. And for somebody like myself, that's very hard to take in, because before bodybuilding, putting bodybuilding to the side, training comes first. Training will always come first. But I was just kind of put really down because I got halfway through my leg session, I had to leave, everything just went to shit, my back was feeling horrendous, everything was just feeling so seized up, and any time that I kind of stayed still for any more than 5-10 minutes, when I got up, I could hardly walk. Fast forward a week, we're back on UK soil, we're back into the gym, and I was back onto legs on Monday night. So obviously by the time this video goes up, this will be like a week ago from where it happened. I went in, I done my leg extensions, done my hamstring curls, went to Smith machine squats to get back into the rhythm of doing Smith machine squats. I literally had one plate aside on, went down again for the eccentric, got into the active range of motion point of where my full depth would have been, and I just felt something snap, I felt something crunch, and it was just, as soon as I felt it go, I was like, here we go. Do you know what I mean? And it was getting to me as well, because obviously I'm 16 weeks out, around 15, 14 and a half weeks out by the time this video goes up. And it's just very hard, because for me not being able to perform at 100% is very hard. That's really hard to take in. I've never been one to be brought up to take a back seat. I simply can't take a back seat. I need to train the way that I would normally train. And knowing that I can't train at 100%, come in and deadlift all out, squat all out, leg press all out, perform all my big basics, to know that I can't do that is more hurting than anything else. So being able to kind of try and combat that mentally has been my biggest struggle over the past kind of couple of weeks, and especially from my leg session on Monday. But apart from that, it's just something that we're going to have to work with. This isn't the year that I can't come in at 100%, and I know that, everybody knows that, my coach knows that, I know that for 110%, and I'm just not one to not be able to try and push myself to come in at 100%. And I know that people will say that me training is going to jeopardize things, me doing this, that, the next thing is going to jeopardize things. But at the same time, I've just never been brought up to take a back seat, and it's not something that I can do. I will adhere to the injury management variables that I'm going to need to adhere to, and that just means pulling back a little bit, maybe not going all out on the bigger compound movements. I'm going to need to perform a lot more chest supported stuff over the next kind of couple of weeks, just purely down to the fact to give my kind of glutes and lower back a little bit of rest and less loading. We're going to try and rack pull today, but at the very end of the session, again, that will be one of the main things that I will be kind of getting on top of, and just making sure that I'm not taking all out. I probably won't even go anywhere near 5 plates aside, which again for me, that's warm-up territory, that's warm-up weight, and again that'll be hard. I'm going to do one non-supported row today, but it's going to be near the end of the session again, whenever I'm kind of feeling a little bit more fatigued, so it's going to force me to reduce the load. Again, we're just kind of taking on board these kind of variables to make sure that I'm not absolutely killing myself, and having injury management as the biggest goal here. I need to be ensuring that I'm going to be able to recover. I'm not frying my central nerve system, I'm not frying my lower back, I'm not frying my glutes, but we need to make sure that the training's going to be, it's going to be very much worth training. Like, I'm going to still be taking benefits from my training sessions, I'm going to be training efficiently, I'm going to be training effectively, and I still need to make sure that I'm 16 weeks out, so I'm taking everything from the session. But no more rambling on, I'm not going to go into it too much more. I hope that you guys can take a little bit of value from this video, because I know that people do struggle with some sort of injuries and things like that. For me, it's something new again, so I'm opening up about something that's been a struggle. But apart from that, I hope you guys do enjoy it. So please, of course, don't forget to drop the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, turn post notifications on, because obviously it helps the channel. And let's get on with that. Okay. Come on, Ken. Okay. So, pull-ups, chin-ups, 3 sets, nice and easy. That's one thing that I was saying at the very start. I either start on these or I'll kind of finish on them. Usually if I do start, I would implement maybe a weight belt, but it's most definitely a move that I've been brought up with, that is one of them moves that really builds the foundation of your back. You can't be too big for a pull-up, you can't be too big for a chin-up, and if it's one of them movements that you still haven't incorporated into your sessions, then I would most definitely recommend you do so. And again, I'm going to be one of these kind of the devil's advocate of, I don't recommend you jump towards an assisted pull-up machine, because I think if there's one movement that you can't get too good at, it's a bodyweight, free weighted, non-assisted pull-up. If you need to start off with something like a band, do that. Get your groove with them, and then obviously go for the normal free weighted, non-assisted pull-ups, because I definitely think that's had a massive positive impact on my back and how my back's built, and the detail within my back has been down to pull-ups. So we hit 3 sets, not taking too much rest, getting warm, and then we'll move on from here. We're going to actually jump down the stair and we're going to go for a single arm high to low row first. Again guys, this is just a little bit different for me. I'm not used to starting on these kind of smaller isolation exercises, but this is what we're going to do today, just to get nice and warm, get the lats fired, get the fibers really recruited in and obviously firing as much as possible before we then move to some moves slightly bigger. Again, just staying in control of obviously how warm I am, how I'm feeling, and that's really how the session today is going to be dictated. I've got a couple of exercises that I want to perform today, but apart from that, we're just going to go for it. But pull-ups are feeling good, pre-workouts kicked in, defibs kicked in, so we're in a good spot. But we're going to go for a high to low row next. 3.5 plates. Again, this is one of the movements that I am so weak at as well. I see people loading 3, 4, 5, sometimes even 6 plates aside on a move like this. And again, it's such an isolated exercise that I think that's why I struggle so much in it, because I'm so used to kind of getting things exploding as quick as possible. Whenever it comes to isolation movements such as high to low rows, such as this move, leg extensions, things like that, I am literally weak as piss on them. One of the biggest ones that I'll never forget is whenever me and AJ done a leg session in here, and don't get me wrong, he very much fucking kept up with me on the hack squat and that, matched intensity and everything, but whenever we got to the leg extension, he literally shit on me. I done 40, 50, I think 60 kilo max for a top end working set. He done the full stack. But again, we spoke about that, I'm so used to compound movements, I'm so used to having my explosive fibers working as hard as they can. I'm used to them bigger things and just kind of getting things firing as much as possible. I'm not really too used to taking isolation movements as heavy as possible. So obviously I can still take them to as heavy as I can, but it's never anywhere near somebody that's actually used to performing moves like this. But it's feeling good, lats are firing up. I'm going to do this as one working set here, 3.5 plates, and we're going to look for between kind of 8 and 12 reps each side. So let's just see how it feels. Oh yes. Bye. Bye. Oh. Shit's heavy. I'm definitely not used to this sort of moves. Wow. So I'm going to still perform a back off set here. I'm literally just going to come down, take a plate off, 2.5 plates. That should be more than a nice jump. I think that's one of the biggest things that people do kind of misjudge a little bit, as well as their top to back off sets. People sometimes either make too big of a jump or not enough of a jump. I always kind of look towards making sure a top set is anywhere from the kind of 6 to 10 rep range, and then whenever you're doing your back off sets, you want to be ensuring that you're not getting to 7-8 reps and dying. You want to be making sure that you're at least getting to 10-11 reps, and that's when the hurt starts coming in. Because if you're getting to like 6-7 reps and dying, your top set's far too close to your back off set, or your back off set's far too close to your top. So maybe drop it off a little bit more. And then you've also got to take on board that you don't want to be getting to 15, 16, 17 reps and it's still not hurting, or it's still not kind of getting to that point where you're fatiguing. So just make sure that you're dropping off enough, not too much, but dropping off enough. That's one of the biggest things I always think that is kind of misjudged a little bit, because you see people doing like their top set and then dropping off 5 kilo and doing a back off set. It's far too close. And if your back off set works on that, your top set's too light. Feels good. Big Greg behind us. Barbell squatting. Greg's used to this fancy equipment, the easy stuff. It's good to see him get actually under a fucking bar. Make some noise as well. Nah, in all seriousness, he's upped his game. Like, I think Ants gave him a telling off. If he doesn't start fucking working, he's gonna get kicked out. Oh, yep. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, fuck. Fuck me. Oh, fuck. Woo, fucker. Oh, that felt good. Chest supported T-bar row next. Too short for that shit. I either set it way too high or I set it way too low. I should probably start taking on board how I position most of my movements. But I like to just really get in and get the feel of a move first, and then kind of adjust from there. I don't like to go in and faff about, unless it's something like a prime piece of equipment that you're pretty much forced to like set your positioning up from the start, in which I would most definitely recommend. But on smaller things like this, anything that's not prime, I'll literally just jump on, find my groove with it, and then I'll reset. Ooh. 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 Chest supported T-bar row done. I'm gonna jump onto my first supported or first non-supported exercise of the session, and to be fair, one of two non-supported exercises. We are nearly done. Chest supported T-bar row done. I'm gonna jump to a low row now, a nice staple in my pretty much every back session. A little V-bar, close grip, low seated row. Then we've got a close grip pull down, rack pulls, and then that'll be us done for back. This is like the most nervous I've ever been for a low row in my whole entire life. So I need to just be confident, but it's like also very nerve-wracking because it's non-supported and I don't know how my back's going to hold out to a working set, but we're soon going to find out. This will really be the dictator of how things go for the rest of the session, but I think we should be good. Everything's feeling okay. I just need to be careful, and which I am being, and which is hard, but I'm learning. Okay, come on you fucker. Ooh. 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 Hey. Hey. Oh, fucker. Nice. Fucking must not be my lower back. Ah. Okay. Ooh. 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 Hey. 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 Ah. Oh. If there's one thing that's just dictated, is I don't think it's my lower back that's the problem. I think it's my glutes, because as much as obviously I've got a belt on, I've just done a non-supported row in which, regardless of having a belt on or not, would have directly targeted like my lower posterior of obviously my lower back for that matter. It would have directly put load on that, in which I never felt any pain. I was able to use momentum. Things felt okay. So that's kind of just really clarified that it's lower. It's in my glute where the problem's coming from, in which it's a good thing. It's gave me a little bit of kind of, I don't know what you could say, but I feel a little bit kind of better knowing that it's not my lower back and it's actually my glutes. That's a good thing. That's where we know it's came from. So something's clearly went. Just potentially under my lower back, which again can obviously cause pain to come up the way, but we're kind of in better form now that we know it's my glutes and not my back. But we're going to finish on rack pulls next, if we can get on them, in which I think we potentially can. We're not going to take it any heavier than maybe 4.5 plates, because obviously I'm being sensible. I'm still taking measures, I'm still taking cautions with things, and just again staying in control of my injury management, and obviously nailing the variables that I need to nail, not doing silly crazy loads on my lower back, just making sure that I'm doing what I need to do, get in, get out and recover, eat up, sleep, and means we can come back in tomorrow. Because if I take things too far, that could be the determining factor of me coming in today and not coming in tomorrow. So we just got to be sensible. 4 plates. I'm going to do this for 1 rep, and then I think I'm going to go 4.5. Last week, after I kind of got back into the groove of doing this after my back went, I done 4 plates I think for 10 reps. So that was just kind of trying to get a bit more momentum back in with this sort of move. So we're going to go 4.5 today. That'll be 20 kilo increase. That's all right, although I need to take on board that obviously I've done a little bit extra damage since then, but it's just depending on 4 plates, how it feels will really dictate how I kind of approach 4.5 plates. It should be okay, and things are feeling okay. I'm kind of feeling a little bit better now that I know that it's not my lower back, but at the same time my glutes are going to fire quite a bit on something like a rack pull, especially this low, because we're not having any crash bars up, so it is from the lowest point. I'm literally pulling from mid shin, so it's essentially just maybe like a 15 inch, or not even 15 inches, maybe something like 10 inches, and to be fair, even that's a push, a block pull. So we're still pulling very low, but it just feels good to have a bit of loading there, that I can kind of get a bit more kind of clarity within my head that everything is okay. It's just hard, but we're staying in control, and I'm going to go 4 plates. I'll just perform 2 reps here, and then I'll go 4.5, and we'll take a nice working set, and then realistically that'll be us done for back. Come on, Kev. Fucker. Good. Very fucking good. Eventually. I knew straight away the second that I pulled rep number 1, it was fucking going to be on. And admittedly, there was a good few reps there and a good few reps left, but I'm being safe. I got probably one of the biggest scares on Monday whenever I squatted and I felt something really actually go. I got a bit of a scare then, and just getting in that set was hard because I knew that I couldn't take it all out like I normally would on a deadlift or even a rack pull for that matter. I think around 2 or 3 weeks ago now, I pulled like 220 for 20 reps. That was 200 for 12. Anybody that knows they are 2 different sets that are completely far away from each other. So to me, that's a poverty set. But again, we made it work. I made it feel heavy. I stayed where I needed to stay. I stayed tight, stayed within the set, I stayed safe. And that's one of the biggest things that we've taken from this whole session. But I'm happy with that. I'm happy to leave it at that, and that's back done for the day. We're going to finish off with just a couple of bicep exercises just to kind of stay in that kind of pulling pattern. We're not hitting a pull session though. We'll just hit back and biceps. We'll get some posing done. You guys can see what I look like at 16 weeks out. You can see whether I'm still fat or not. But we're just going to stay in here. We'll do an alternating dumbbell curl, and then we'll potentially try and get on a cable machine, hit a straight bar cable curl, and that'll be us. Finito. But I'm so happy that that is done. So fucking happy. I feel fresh. Okay. guys, there we go, 16 weeks out, back is done. My most probably, how would you describe it? I didn't look forward to going into some of these sets just because I always had like my small kind of niggle in my mind and my small injury in my mind, and especially with the rack pulls at the very end. They felt insane when I got in for the 200 and I lifted it up. I knew straight away I was going to be able to take a really good set and a safe enough set, but at the same time, again, I always kind of had in my mind, it was really hard to get into that kind of frame of mind of going all out on a set because I knew I had to leave reps in the tank. I knew I wasn't going anywhere near as heavy as I would normally do, and I just had to make sure that I was performing it as safe as possible. So in a way, this kind of next 10 to 14 days is going to force me to stay in control a lot more and kind of maybe stay away a little bit from momentum on some exercises. But I say that, I mean, I've done a low row today and it felt exceptionally well. It felt very good, and it's gave me that kind of just little bit of oomph that I know that it's not my lower back and it's potentially something that's just tight in my glutes, which I'm hoping for. I still need to get it very much checked out. I think we're going to go private and get it checked out as we'd never really got much from the NHS, which again is unfortunate, but it's just one of them things. I've been able to box this off today again. At the same time, it was another session that I wasn't really looking forward to bringing like this to YouTube because it's like I want to showcase my sort of training. That's what I always want to produce, and you guys know that. You guys know the way that I train, and to be fair, today's session obviously wasn't that, but I was still able to take a successful one. It was good in everything that I needed it in. Physique update wise, that's what we're looking like 16 weeks out. Update on my food, it's been put up. We got an extra, I think it's, what is it, 20 or 30 grams, whatever it is, extra oats first thing in the morning. I've got an extra meal of sweet potato in. Food is going up. I'm getting leaner. The goal now is simply just to harden up and get as grainy as possible in the next 16 weeks. So everything's good on that front. I've had my check-in with my coach. Vicky thinks everything's very good. She's very happy with how things are. So if I've got a happy coach, then I'm happy myself. I just need to get on top of obviously this kind of small niggle and make sure that I can try and get back to normal, because anybody that knows that I literally can't perform or I can't do something unless I know I'm going all in, and I need to be making sure that I'm going all in, because this isn't the year that I can turn up at 80-90%. Not any year should be like that, but this especially isn't the year that I can do that. But apart from that, successful session taken, I am going home now for my rapid recovery. Going home, get some food, feet up, chill, rest up, get a good sleep, and then I am in for chest tomorrow, in which will just be on my Instagram. So of course, guys, if you don't follow me on Instagram, that's really where I'm kind of more active. It's just KiffyWest_, nice and easy. That's where you'll find pretty much me every single day of the week, 24 hours of the day, near enough. But apart from that, I do hope that of course you enjoyed this one. If you did enjoy it, again, then please do not forget to drop the video a like for me. Subscribe to the channel if you are new about here, and I will see you all in the next video.